I'm Daniel, and this is my video review of a couple of CDs that were sent to me by Kanani Fong. I hope I'm saying your name right. We've only met virtually so far, so I'm not sure how your first name is pronounced. At warretreat.org. If you're not familiar with warretreat.org, definitely go and check out their page. They're doing some very noble work for yoga and meditation for veterans, and for people that have come back from military service. The company that has put these out is called Mindful Way, so it's www.mindful-way.com. So these were the CDs that I was sent, and first off, before we get into my review of the CDs, I just want to make mention that I think a word of caution about using CDs and DVDs and MP3s and formats like that for meditation. As a yoga teacher and as a meditation teacher, that I'm a little bit leery of guided programs like this for the long term. So if you can't find a qualified meditation teacher to teach you in person or in a group, then of course, obviously, CDs and DVDs fill a valuable spot there for you to be able to study these practices if you can't find a qualified teacher in your area. The only live teacher. So somebody to help you with your posture, somebody to help you with feedback, that kind of thing. So whenever possible, I recommend live trainings with a teacher so that those things are covered. And the only other drawback of using a CD or a DVD or an MP3 as a way to train yourself in meditation is that these can then become a crutch. Meaning, a year from now or 2 years from now, you're still doing your practice by listening to the CD. And so I would caution against that. They're great in the beginning when you literally don't have a clue how to start or what you're doing, but eventually you have to get past using the crutch of the CD, DVD, whatever the format is, and into practicing on your own. So that being said, I'm going to review both of these as one because they're almost identical. There's very little difference between the two other than a couple of very subtle things which I'll mention. Usually, again, if someone's practicing on their own and they want to sit on the floor in some sort of cross-legged or traditional meditation posture, there's not a lot of guidance in these as to how you would do that. The quality is very good. The practices themselves are very good. There's an introduction, a 10-minute sit, a 20-minute sit, an introduction to a body scan, and then there's also a body scan. So really great program that they have developed here. And they obviously have been doing this for a while, and it's very, they're very well-versed in mindfulness meditation. So a great introduction for somebody who's looking for that. And both of the CDs are formatted the same way, so they're almost identical as far as the program, what's offered, and the verbiage. The only difference I would say, and I did actually have a leaning more towards one than the other, so I was sent two. One is by Hugh O'Neill, and the other one is by Beth Mulligan, and I actually preferred the one with Hugh O'Neill because I found his delivery style a little bit more casual. I felt more like I was actually in the room and he was just speaking to me. Whereas with Beth's CD, I found that it seemed like she was recording a CD. The languaging was more formal, the vocabulary was higher, and I don't know her, so maybe that is the way she speaks in every day-to-day life. She didn't have a lot of fluctuation with her voice, so the cadence, so to speak, of it was a little bit more kind of monotone and even keel. So I actually think had I been using this and I'd been tired, I may have fallen asleep, which you're not supposed to be trying to fall asleep in meditation. Whereas with Hugh, there was enough infusion of sort of his own personality in the style and the way that he spoke that I actually felt more like he was sitting in the room with me. So that's just consider either reformatting them slightly or making them available on MP3 format or iTunes or something like that. I did check on their website and it seems like all of the audio is actually on CD. So that's one drawback. And the only to Hugh's, that's sort of a small thing. But overall, I would give these both collectively 3 out of 4 stars. Again, a little bit of a knockoff on the stars just because of the formatting, meaning these are not at all MP3 formats. They're not available on iTunes. When you try to put them on your iPod, the track names don't actually show up. It just shows up 1A, 1B, 1C, etc. And so that can be a bit hard for those who may actually be putting these on an iPod as they're using them. Other than that, really great quality sound CDs. They obviously both know what they're doing. A great introduction for beginners into a mindfulness meditation practice. Just remember though that if you are starting off with a CD, at some point I would recommend that you find a live teacher so that you have somebody that can answer all of your questions and also, check your posture. The website for these particular CDs is www.mindful-way.com. And again, the War Retreat website is warretreat.org. So check them out. They're doing very, very good work there. So thanks again for sending me the CDs. I hope you found that review helpful. Namaste.